I didn't have any emotions. I felt very numb, and I was just walking through the day without having any emotion. And that was horrifying to me. I do want to say here about the medication that I was on. Medication is supposed to actually start helping after being on it for like a month or two. My 12-day experience with this medication, I even woke up one night experiencing what I believe was some type of brain seizure, and it woke me up out of my sleep, and then the room was spinning and it wouldn't stop spinning for like an hour. So my brain responded to this medication in a very bad way. Now, I did get this medication abroad, so it could have been tainted, and I do want to put that out there. So if you're doing research and you're trying to figure out if medication is for you, I'm not sharing this to alarm you or scare you. I'm just saying that was my response. My body's response, my brain's response to this medication was really awful. One night on this medication, I actually thought I wasn't going to make it. And I cried out to the Lord, definitely, right? I was like crying out, Jesus. But I also woke up my husband and said, I don't think I'm going to make it through tonight. Can you help me? And he did. He was with me until I was able to calm down enough and go to sleep and not be afraid to go to sleep, because it was in my sleep where I had this weird experience where my eyes were wanting to roll back, and I don't even know how to explain it. It just felt like what I would think to be a brain seizure. I was trying to fight against it. On the spiritual side of all of this, because I do believe that the enemy was totally taking advantage of what I was going through, being on the medication and then getting off the medication. And I had a vision one night. I mean, I never pulled away from the Lord in any of this. So you can have these issues and these struggles and be close to God. So don't let anyone tell you that it'll pull you away from the Lord. I was definitely very close to the Lord. One night, the Holy Spirit gave me, the understanding I was looking for. And I had this vision where two large giants were taking me and just like tossing me back and forth, my body, like as if I was a rag doll. And that's exactly how I felt going on with inside of me, kind of like when we see in the Marvel movies with Hulk and how he did that to Loki. Like that's what was happening to me with these giants in the spirit realm. That's how I felt, though. I felt I was being beat up so bad, and the enemy was just coming straight for me, knowing that I was in a very dark place in my life, probably the darkest I've ever been, because my desire of wanting to serve the Lord overseas was closing. That was closing, the door was closing, and the medication wasn't working, and I had no other options that it felt like at the time, and I didn't know what to do. And we were in a place where I just felt really stuck. I was needing God to rescue me, and the enemy knew that. The Holy Spirit revealed that to me so that I could fight it in prayer, asking for more help from the Lord, asking for him to send more angelic help to help me stand in this day that I was going through, this day of evil. Like it was awful. It was so awful. I still felt the Lord with me in all of it. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He is with us when we are struggling. This season definitely tested my trust in the Lord. It tested my marriage. It tested my own confidence, which was definitely shrinking by the moments. That was like really walking through the valley of the shadow of death is what it felt like for me. And there was nowhere to go but up, because when you hit the bottom and you crash hard, and it's okay to hit rock bottom, and it's okay to crash hard. It's okay, because being built back up again in the Lord, it's kind of a good thing, but it's painful. It was really, really hard. While I was on the medication, I could not feel. I didn't have any emotions. I felt very numb, and I was just walking through the day without having any emotion. And that was horrifying to me, because I had no opinion about anything. If my husband would ask me what I wanted for dinner, or he would say, would you want to go do this or do that? I had no opinion. I had nothing. It was awful. The medication just like numbed me. I couldn't feel happy, couldn't feel sad. However, I felt the need to cry. I remember that. I felt that I needed to cry, and I couldn't cry. I couldn't enjoy things because, again, I didn't even feel happy. And the worst part of taking this medication, besides, possibly experiencing a brain seizure in my sleep, was that I could not feel. the presence of God. I couldn't feel his love. I couldn't feel his peace. I couldn't feel him with me. So I just had to trust that he was with me. That, if anything got in between me and my relationship with God, I'm going to push that out of my life. When I came to that discovery that I'm not even feeling the presence of God when I go and spend time with him, this medication is not what I want. I would rather struggle with depression, struggle with anxiety, be triggered right and left, than lose the ability to have that deep relationship with the Lord and feel his presence. I needed him more than I needed anything else in my life. I needed the Lord more than feeling emotionally stable. When I got off the medication, that came back really quickly. I was able to feel again. I was able to have opinions about doing this or doing that. I was able to enjoy my food when I ate it. And then I was finally able to cry. I was finally able to cry when I knew I needed to cry, and the tears did come. That was my experience with medication. I don't know everybody's experience, but for me, it was a big no, and I was gonna have to do something else, and that was okay. That was okay. That was something that I needed to figure out, that was not an option for me, so that I could be open for what option the Lord was gonna put in my life and be willing to do that to get healed and whole.